In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I make a phone charm, but this time we are going to use a metal strand versus the stretchy strand. I showed you guys in the last video the beads that I get from Hobby Lobby, so I'm going to be using some of those beads that I did get from Hobby Lobby for this phone charm. You can see me taking them off and placing into my little plastic containers that I like to put my beads in and getting them all sorted out. Some of the things that you're going to need for this are going to be very similar to the last phone charm that I showed you. You do need your little scissors, your glue, your charms, and your beads that you're going to be wanting. You're going to need your crimp beads, and you are also going to need the keychain parts. So we are going to walk into this, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how I make these phone charms because they are a little different than the last ones that I showed you. The last ones I showed you was with stretch string, and so it would stretch. This one, on the other hand, is not. This is going to be made with a metal strand, and so it's going to be a little bit different. So let's go ahead and get over into the video, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to make this phone charm. You can see here that I have my bead board. I did get this from Hobby Lobby. I'm just going to rearrange my beads on the board how I want them. So I always go through, I get whatever beads I'm going to use in charms and kind of place them out, and then I'm going to stick them on that bead board and just make them exactly how I want them. You can see I have my small scissors here. I have my jump rings, which are my thicker ones that I got from Hobby Lobby. Again, if you missed my last video, please go watch it. It's going to show you everything that I use and get from Hobby Lobby. You can see the two key rings down here that I'm using for the phone charm. This right here is the strand that I'm using, and then these are the beads that I'm going to be using to make this keychain. Everything that's on my table is everything that I'm going to be using. I'm just going to go ahead and snip this off right here, and then I'm going to use the same beads as I did before. I make sure that it's about as long as I need it to be. This right here, I'm going to grab, it's the same ones I used with the last phone charm. We're just changing it up a little bit. We have our crimp beads. I got my crimp beads from Michael's and Amazon. You can also get them from Hobby Lobby. Now the silver ones that I'm going to be using right here, I have to get those from Amazon. I do not like the ones from Michael's and or from Hobby Lobby because the top of them is different. These tops on them that I have a closed in round circle, whereas the other ones, it's not a closed in round circle, it's more like a hoop, and you have to close it off, and your thick jump rings are not going to stay in those very well. I use the little jump rings first, then I use the thick ones, but this right here, I'm tried to show you guys up close as much as I possibly could. Sometimes it's kind of hard, but I'm taking it and I'm placing it on there with that crimp bead, and I am using my pliers to go ahead and close that down. And then the silver piece that's right here, this is the one I'm talking about. I have to get this off Amazon. I don't like the ones at Hobby Lobby and or the ones at Michael's. My mom bought them and I hated them. With these, I always use my glue. I do get this glue from Hobby Lobby, but again, you can find it on Amazon. I go ahead and put it over the crimp bead and then inside of the cover. So this is pretty much like a cover for over your beads. And when you close it, I use my pliers to close it, but I'm going to close it and I'm going to leave it closed for a minute. Do you see that round little circle to the right by my thumb? That's what I'm looking for because that is what I'm going to end up putting my little jump ring in. Okay, so I put my little jump ring in there is what I do. So this is closed. I like that that is a closed ring at the top. There is a hole in the middle, but I'm just saying at the very top, like it makes a complete circle around. The one at Hobby Lobby and at Michael's do not. So now that I've got my strand ready, and I am just going to make sure that that glue is held and closed for a minute. And then after that, I will start loading my beads up onto this metal strand. It is strand number 7 from Hobby Lobby. I, again, will link my Amazon bead list on there. This right here is my smaller jump ring. These are just little itty bitty ones. I put them through the hole. I kind of go off camera here. I'm really sorry for that, guys, but I'm going to place it through that hole and then I'm going to go ahead and close it. That hole on top of these are what I like. The ones my mom got, again, they don't have the hole like this. You literally have to close it and it can come apart. I don't like them. I really try to stay in the camera for you guys. I'm really sorry that I'm getting out of the camera here a little bit, but all I'm doing is closing that jump ring and making sure it's completely closed because my thick jump ring is going to go inside of this small jump ring. The thick jump rings are the ones that make the difference because those are going to be the ones that if somebody were to tug or pull, it makes it to where it doesn't come apart. So now I'm going to start to load my beads up onto my string. Now you can do this any way that you want to do. I always use a little tiny one right at the end just to kind of lock it in. And then I'm going to go in with my decorative ones. Again, you can choose whatever beads that you want to use, however you want to be creative with this. I'm going to add a little extra piece to this that you guys will see at the end. I am learning new ways of doing keychains and phone charms. And I'm telling you guys, when I do events, they sell so quickly. I have an Etsy shop, if you guys didn't already know, and I do sell them on my Etsy shop, and people are actually buying them up. I can tell you right now that the ones with flowers and ones that are pretty simple are the ones that are going the best. So right now I'm just going to load up and make this all nice and pretty. So I'm just going to forward this through. I just kind of wanted to show you guys my process and the things that I use. If you've not watched my last video, please go watch it. You'll see everything that I buy from Hobby Lobby. And then that Amazon link for beads. If you click on it and scroll down, you'll see absolutely everything I use for any kind of keychains that I make. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing on the other end as we did in the beginning. I always make sure that they are equal on each side. That's what you see me doing a second ago. And then I go ahead and put my silver crimp cover over it. And then I'm going to put my crimp bead down there. And then I'm going to make sure that I push just a little bit and I'm going to close it tight. Now, one thing I can tell you with these crimp beads, if you crimp them too tightly, you're going to bust them. But you also don't want them to be so loose. Again, I'm out of the camera. So sorry, guys. You don't want it to be so loose that it's going to come apart. So just making sure you close it with good pressure and that it's going to stay. But also the glue is going to help with this, but we just want to make sure it's closed. Now, again, out of the camera, but what I'm doing is cutting off the remaining portion in that bead part right there because you want to be able to close it. And if that metal piece or the stretch string, whichever one you're using, is in the way, you cannot close this enclosure over everything. So again, I'm using glue. I'm so sorry that I keep going out of the camera. How frustrating, my guys. I will make sure that the next tutorial, I am not getting out of this camera. But I'm just putting the glue in over the crimp bead and over in the middle of this and inside. And then I'm going to close this up with my tweezers right here. Not tweezers, sorry, pliers. I misspoke. I'm so sorry. My pliers. And I'm going to make sure that it's closed up correctly. Everything lines up. Once I get it all closed up and everything's lined up, we're going to use our little jump ring like we did on the other side. And I'm going to go ahead and put in my thicker jump ring into the smaller one. That thicker jump ring is going to end up being what is connected to the keychain part. That's what I'm going to make sure that gets connected so that it does not come apart if somebody were for some reason to catch it. I've watched my kids do it several times. Their phone goes to drop, and the first thing they do is grab for that phone charm, and that is what saves their phone. These can bust, guys. Please let your customers know if you're making these for people that you are not responsible for them after they have hit their hands. As long as it's in good condition once they receive it, if they choose to pull on it or catch it or anything like that and it comes apart and breaks, it's not on you and it's not your responsibility. These are an accessory. They are not made to be pulled on, twisted on, and all those things. It's just an accessory for a phone to make it super cute and for you to put around your wrist if you want. But those bigger phones, those can be an issue sometimes because they're very heavy. These right here are my thicker jump rings that I told you I'm going to place inside of my little jump rings. I do get my thick jump rings from Hobby Lobby. I believe these are the 12mm. Again, I showed you guys everything and told you to take screenshots in the last video. I'm adding charms to this one. You can add whatever charms you want. You can decorate it however you want. I like to always add some kind of charms to my keychains and to my phone charms. People love them. And to do personalization, you can actually show, hey, these are the charms that I have. You can choose from these charms and you can choose from these color of beads so that people can actually order a phone charm that is a color that they might want and a charm that they might want versus having a charm like this one, this phone charm right here that I'm going to be placing. I mean, it's one that I've already made, so I'll put it on my Etsy shop, but maybe somebody wants one with purple and white beads versus black, or maybe they want yellow and blue, whatever colors they may want. And maybe they don't like bows. Maybe they want me to do roses or a cross, things like that. So you can add those kind of things to be able to have them personalize them themselves for their own phone, which will also help you in your Etsy shop. These right here are the phone, not the phone part, I'm sorry, the keychain part. It's the keychain part that's going to connect to the bottom of the phone. You do have the insert that goes in the case that you will connect these to. It's just a plastic insert that goes into the phone. You can get those off of Amazon. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. I've seen them pretty much everywhere. You can get different sizes and colors and everything else like that. They come automatically with all of my phone charms. So this is what it's looking like now, but I'm going to add one more piece down the middle and make it look super cute. This is something that's going to be a little different than my last one also. Okay, right here you can see the metal that I have, and I'm going to use this, and this is what I'm going to use to create the middle piece because I want it to stay straight. I don't really want this to bend, and the metal that I used for the actual phone charm itself is a thinner metal. This one is a little bit thicker, and because I don't want this bending, I want it to stay straight. Whereas the one with the phone charm, I wanted it to make that round and be able to turn and be pliable, I guess you could say, and be able to move around. This one, I don't want it to. Okay, so now I'm going to use my 3-in-1 tool. This is just going to make a little loop at the very bottom of the metal, which is exactly what I'm wanting to do. Now, those green pliers down below will also do the same thing, but it's just so much easier to just grab these. The 3-in-1 tool that I'm using is a 1.5 mm. You can get them in different sizes, so I just wanted to let you know the size I am using. Okay, so I am grabbing a crimp bead here to put it down at the bottom. You don't actually have to do this. I just wanted to add a little bit more security to make sure that it stays completely closed. Really, you can even just use like a small little bead, and that also works too. Okay, so now I'm going to just start loading up the beads on here and getting it how I need it. I was able to figure out how to get my screen to flip during this time. Moving forward, I'm still learning how to edit, guys. Please be patient with me. I will 100% get this down. I literally record with my phone this direction, but for some reason when I go into my editing program, it's flipping it, and I just now learned how to unflip it, and I don't want to go back through and have to re-edit. So just be patient with me as I am learning. I do appreciate you guys watching my tutorials and things like that. I've noticed my keychain videos seem to be doing the best. So I will start showing you guys all the different kind of keychains that I make. I make several different keychains because, like I said, these and phone charms and everything else, they go so quickly at events and on my Etsy shop. It's crazy. So I am just getting this where I want it and what I think looks good. You can always readjust it and do whatever you need, whatever it is that you feel is going to work. This piece is going to connect to the phone charm and it is going to come down the middle. It is super cute. It's one of my favorite ones to be able to make. Some people don't like the middle piece because they feel like it might get in the way, but I've had a lot of people really enjoy when I add this extra piece into the phone charm. Again, 3-in-1 tool. That's what's going to close it up. I'm going to make sure that I use my pliers to make sure that that little loop is completely closed. I am then going to end up putting on a jump ring here. Again, you don't have to do this. I just do it to make sure that it stays completely closed up and I don't have to worry about it. Okay, now that that loop is nice and closed, what I'm going to do is add a little jump ring on to my keychain right here. This is going to stay straight like I've told you guys, but I'm going to go ahead and open up that little tiny jump ring and I'm going to attach it so that I can then attach it to the rest of the phone charm. Okay, so now that I'm getting the little one on there, I will be adding the thicker jump ring. I always add the thicker jump ring no matter what because I just want that extra stability with my phone charms. Like I said, we may not be responsible once it goes off, but I do try to make them as durable as 100% possible so that there isn't issues. I don't want anybody buying my products and them just not lasting. I do make them to last and I do make them durable. But at the same time, if somebody's going to be rough with them and cause issues, then that's where they need to understand that it is not on us. This is that thicker jump ring, and I'm just going to place it through the middle, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect it the rest of the way to the phone charm. You could also add a charm right here with this piece. If you wanted to, you could actually put it off to the side. If you wanted to, you don't have to put it down the middle. You can choose whatever you want to do. I do end up placing one cute little charm right on it to match the rest of the phone charm, and I'm just going to close that on up. Once I do that, you can see how straight it is and how long it is. And then I'm going to go ahead and place it onto the keychain part. And then I'm also going to connect this to the rest of my phone charm. So I'm going to put the left side of the phone charm on one side and the other part of the phone charm on the right side. That way it will sit in the middle of the phone charm. That's exactly what I want it to do. So because I want it to sit in the middle, I needed to put that directly in the middle, as you can see. And I'm going to connect the other side. If I can get it picked up. Oh my goodness, these little things, I swear. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, please comment down below. I respond to your guys' comments with any questions that you guys might have. Keep in mind, I do misspeak sometimes, so if I confuse you, I'm so sorry. Just ask me and say, hey, I didn't understand this part of the video. Could you please explain it? And I totally will. I will be making more of these kind of videos for you guys. If you guys have a certain video that you would like to see, please comment that down below. If there's a certain keychain or phone charm or something that you want to know more about, just comment down below and I will definitely come make a video about it. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys again for watching. You guys are amazing. Here's the finished product.